Sometimes, the more we obsess over achieving a specific outcome, the more it seems to elude us. Paradoxically, letting go of our fixation on results can actually lead to greater success and fulfillment. The 19th century Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard explored this idea through his existential philosophy. He believed that life is inherently full of uncertainty and contradictions, and trying to rigidly control every aspect is an exercise in futility. In this video, we'll explore Kierkegaard's philosophy on embracing uncertainty and caring less about results, which can paradoxically lead to better outcomes in life. One of the central tenets of Kierkegaard's philosophy is the idea of embracing life's inherent paradoxes, uncertainties, and absurdities, rather than trying to rationalize or control them. He believed that the human tendency to crave certainty, logic, and predictable outcomes is ultimately an illusion that leads to frustration and unhappiness. Kierkegaard urged us to confront the fundamental absurdity and paradoxical nature of existence head-on. Life is full of contradictions, ambiguities, and situations that simply don't make rational sense when viewed through a purely logical lens. So when we cling to the illusion of a rational, predictable world, we set ourselves up for constant disappointment and suffering. As Kierkegaard once wrote, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. In this paradoxical statement, Kierkegaard highlights how the clarity and meaning we seek only emerges in hindsight. As we live life moving forwards, we are faced with infinite possibilities, unknowns, and a constant unfolding of new situations that can never be fully rationalized or predicted in advance. Rather than lament this existential uncertainty, Kierkegaard advocated a radically honest acceptance of the absurd, untidy nature of being. He saw this as the ultimate freedom. Once we admit that the universe doesn't conform to our desires for total order and control, we can let go and simply experience life as the confusing, bizarre journey that it is. This philosophy of embracing the absurd frees us from constantly measuring ourselves against predictable, predetermined outcomes and external metrics of success. It invites us to stay open to the full range of possibilities that can only emerge when we aren't attached to any particular result. Kierkegaard's concept of leap of faith is the idea that we must take decisive action and wholeheartedly commit to our choices and beliefs without absolute certainty about the outcome. He saw this as essential to truly embracing life and finding meaning. For Kierkegaard, the rational mind's quest for complete proof, evidence, and guaranteed results before taking action is fundamentally flawed. Life's inherent ambiguities and uncertainties mean we can never have 100% confidence about how things will unfold. Paralysis from overanalyzing and demanding total security inhibits growth, courage, and authenticity. Instead, he advocated that we take a leap of faith, a commitment to a course of action, belief system, or life path, despite inevitable doubts and lack of control over the final results. This requires vulnerability, intense passion, and a quality Kierkegaard called inwardness, which is a deep soul-searching to identify our truest values. When we muster the daring to plunge into uncertainty, quit procrastinating, and wholly dedicate ourselves to what feels vital and meaningful, we paradoxically no more care about the result and open the door to profound growth, self-actualization, and unexpected positive outcomes we could never rationally predict or plan. As Kierkegaard wrote, "To dare is to lose one's footing momentarily. Not to dare is to lose oneself." For him, the ultimate form of despair was playing it safe, never risking oneself to become more fully human. He saw decisiveness and committed action in the face of the unknown as the crux of authentic living. The focus shifts from controlling future outcomes to bravely following one's innermost beliefs in the present, letting the future unfold organically. Kierkegaard's leap of faith is ultimately about being true to oneself and one's potential in each moment, and finding profound meaning through daring and committed action. Kierkegaard once wrote, "Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom." This anxiety and existential unease come from our ability as conscious beings to escape the present reality. We often get lost in mental fantasies and ruminations. Kierkegaard believed this mindset causes much of our paralysis, indecisiveness, and failure to achieve our highest potential. Instead, he encouraged fully experiencing the present moment, tuning into what's happening right now rather than getting caught up in mental chatter. Because it's when you let go of obsessing over specific future results and just immerse yourself in the realities of the current situation that your biggest achievements tend to naturally unfold. For Kierkegaard, ruthlessly inhabiting the present moment without attachment to how things should be is the real path to growth and positive change. Genuine transformation doesn't come from imposing a vision of an ideal future. It emerges organically from how engaged you are with the realities continually unfolding in your lived experience right now. Think of an artist working on a painting. If the artist is constantly worried about how the final piece should look, they might become stressed, overthink every brushstroke, and lose their creative flow. This fixation on the end result can hinder their artistic process and lead to frustration. However, if the artist focuses on the present moment, enjoying the act of painting without worrying about the final outcome, they can fully engage with their creativity. They may experiment with colors and techniques, letting the painting evolve naturally. So in a counterintuitive way, when you stop fixating so much on specific future results and live fully in the present, you stop holding yourself back from your full potential. One of the core ideas behind Kierkegaard's philosophy is that as human beings, we have an incredible freedom to choose how we want to live our lives and what we dedicate ourselves to. This ability to make our own choices about our beliefs, values, passions, and overall way of being is fundamental to the human experience. As Kierkegaard once wrote, the individual must choose his own way, and in order to choose his own way, he must recognize that he is a unique individual. Kierkegaard, however, recognized that this freedom brings a lot of anxiety and fear. Having total autonomy over the direction of our lives can feel unsettling and even paralyzing at times. It's tempting to try to avoid this burden of choice by clinging to comforting illusions that we have fixed identities or that our paths are predetermined. But Kierkegaard warned that running away from this fundamental freedom, as scary as it can be, cuts us off from living an authentic, fulfilling existence. To truly thrive, Kierkegaard taught that we must bravely stare this formidable freedom in the face and take full responsibility for creating our identities and lives through the choices we make. It means letting go of looking to societal roles or traditions to make choices for us, and instead looking inward to our truest passions and values to find our paths. Making these kinds of bold, inward-guided existential choices is how Kierkegaard saw humans actualizing their highest potentials. Now, embracing this level of radical freedom certainly brings intense anxiety, since we can never be 100% certain of the outcomes of our choices. There are no cosmic guarantees, just our willingness to take full responsibility for our resolute commitments. And herein lies the paradox. By letting go of needing to control specific results, and instead committing wholeheartedly to expressing our truest selves through our choices in each moment,